kyk 'n bietjie wat die tuin vir ons inhou. Is 'n bietjie koriander daarso wat gesond lyk, 'n bietjie bietjie tomaties, spinasie, alles lyk goed, maar daarom het ons nou die kennis wat dit vir ons in stand hou. But if you like other green-fingered people out there that struggle to grow plants, well, this might be one for you, especially if you love proteas. No, not the cricket team. We're talking about those flowers, our national flower. And if you'd like to know exactly how to plant it, what to look out for, especially when you go to your local nursery to buy a protea, well, listen to Neil Dreyersmith from the Dr. Boomslang Indigenous Nursery.
For this week's gardening tips, we are focusing on the ever-beautiful national flower, the protea. And we know now that there are 3 different species of protea, but we are going to be sharing with you the knowledge of how to go about choosing the perfect protea plant for your garden if you go to the nursery. And I'm back at Dr. Boomslang Indigenous Nursery to meet up with Neil, who's going to make us all the wise on choosing that protea plant. Neil, nice to see you again. So we know now that there's 3 common species that you will find at a nursery, right? But which one would you suggest people buy to plant it at home?
Look, your most versatile of all is your leucospermums. The pink cushions are relatively easy to plant. They tolerate a bigger variety of soils. Sandy soils obviously ideal, but they will tolerate slightly alkaline soils and acidic soils as well. As far as a beginner protea goes, or a training wheels protea goes, your leucospermum is pretty much your best one to choose.
But you can go for something like your Safari Sunset.
Yes, the Safari Sunset's pretty much on par with the leucospermum. It's a cultivar, it's used for cut flowers, so it's tough, it's versatile, and it's easy to grow.
Great, okay, so those 2 would be perfect. But now the question, when you do go to the nursery, how do you choose the perfect plant? What does it need to look like, basically?
The most important thing to look for in a protea is new growth. So new growth will always highlight itself, like that little area over there, nice bright new leaves, healthy plant. Okay. Same on this leucodendron here, you can see that there's nice new growth coming out, and it's a good, strong, healthy plant. Very important to remember, size doesn't matter. Big plants are generally going to struggle more when you plant them over than small plants. The smaller plants generally have a much better strike rate as far as survival goes.
And down here we have some examples of not so healthy plants.
Okay. There's no new growth on this plant. A lot of the leaves have fallen off. The leaves are starting to turn red, which is a sign of stress in the protea family. Here we've got compacted soil, moss growing in the soil, which means that there's very little air in the soil and you've got a bit of dieback happening. Here we've got the leaves starting to turn brown, which means there's a presence of a virus or overwatering.
So it's fairly easy to spot an unhealthy plant.
Yeah, you'll normally see that kind of lack of new growth or a bit of burn or a bit of dying leaf on the plant. That gives you an idea it's a plant to avoid.
Neil, thank you so much, but join us next time because we're going to show you how to plant that beautiful protea plant that you've just chosen at your nursery.